All right. Today we're trying out something new. I'm trying to see if we can get someone on Discord to join me on Twitch. And so I'm going to drag over Mongoose over here. All right. Welcome, Mongoose. It looks like your voice is appearing. It looks like this is all working. I can. Can you hear me? All right. That's what I'm talking about. Um, so welcome to Twitch. Yeah, you're on YouTube and Twitch right now. Yeah, you're on YouTube. Well, I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch, so you can here I can actually send it to you. Yeah. Um I'm not exactly sure how I would do that, like how I would show my screen other than you watching like the stream. I think that yeah, but you'd get feedback, right? Like you would hear. So how would that work? Um, I guess I could try this. Let me try this real fast. So I'm sharing my screen on Discord. So now you can see like live of what I'm doing on Discord, but it's also being streamed. Um, let's find out. I'm gonna pull up the stream real fast. So now you can see like live of what I'm doing on Discord, but it's also being streamed. Um, let's find out. I'm gonna pull up the stream real fast. Yeah, it doesn't sound like your audio is coming through. Let me check and see if that's a here, say why don't you just talk about your day? That sounds great.
Okay. So it's a campaign we're thinking about doing with me and my coworkers actually, because we have a coworker that's always wanted to play in D&D but never has. But since we none of us can like play during the week since we all work and everything, the only time that we'd have time is during Sundays. So we'd do it like in the morning of Sundays or something like that. Um, so we've actually just been making our characters while at work. It's been kind of fun.
That's
So
awesome.
Um, so literally, I've been spending tons of time. All right, but I like. Well, I'll tell you my character and her backstory, and then my coworker's character and his backstory. I love his backstory. But anyways, so I'm Ovak, female half orc barbarian, who wasn't a barbarian her whole life. Um, wait, where is it? How do I go to background? Oh, backstory. Born from a human mother, enslaved by orcs. Father unknown, one of the mother's cat masters. The slaves being fed up with the inhumane treatment, the slaves had an insurrection. Ovak, aged 16, was able to run away during the fight without being caught. She had no idea if she was seen escaping. To this day, she isn't even sure if her family and friends were able to pull it off. Ovak bears the slave mark from the orc tribe Uruk. She hides this with a bandana in fear of someone recognizing the mark. Because of this, she travels frequently, finding odd jobs, protecting caravans, working as a mercenary, cleaning latrines, etc. Whatever that doesn't require her to reveal her identity. So it says half orc, from her bastard. She's a bastard. Wait, no. Would it be bastard mother or her? She's the bastard.
Bastard child, I believe is what you're.
Bastard child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So she's a bastard child. Who during the slave insurrection, she ran away and was able to escape the tribe. She's not sure if her people won or if they were re-enslaved or something like that. So it's just she just ran away. So now she just kind of like lives outside of cities and stuff like that. She's not super keen on. Anyways, yeah. So you get the idea of what kind of person she is and everything. Um, Now we have Ched. Ched is a satyr,
Satyr.
yeah, from in the Fey world, whose parents are these rich merchants. Um, the merchants his parents are pretty wealthy and everything, but they move around frequently. He's not sure why. He was just born and raised like that, so he never really questioned it. It's just part of the norm. Though they move to this new city, and he and his parents are are concerned with Ched because Ched is 21. He's become an adult, but he doesn't really have the skills to live in the Feywild because he's just been kind of sheltered by his parents, um, his wealthy parents and everything. Anyways, the parents start to include him more in their business, so they ask him to go buy something from the marketplace of the city, the new city they went to. So he goes in, and as he goes in, he sees this nymph, this beautiful nymph that he falls in love with. Um, Sorry, I'm trying to remember everything, every detail. So, anyways, he starts trying to he's trying to hit on the nymph. He's totally in love with her, but the nymph isn't as in love. Like she's not super into him. But Ched, he's an attractive guy. He's an attractive guy from a wealthy family, as is she. So she's like, okay, yeah. So they start hanging out, kind of. He's trying to court her and everything. But little known to Ched, this nymph's father is a mob boss, and like any good mob boss would, he wants to make sure who his daughter's hanging out with. So he sends people to spy on him. And this is totally unknown to Ched, but the reason why his parents became so wealthy and successful was because they borrowed money from the mob boss. But then they ran away and were on the move so much, so they didn't because they didn't pay him back, and we're just still riding on those riches they found. So the mob boss finds this out that those parents are runaway. They have like mafia ties and everything with that mob. So he invites Ched to dinner, still unbeknownst to Ched that this mob boss is after his parents. Anyways, at the dinner, the mob boss drugs Ched, tells his daughter that Ched was a spy trying to kill her or capture her or something, and that he took care of Ched. Um, what he did to Ched was as he drugged Ched, he sent him to the material plane, where he blips into the forest and meets with Ovak, as Ovak is living kind of reclusively out in the forest, and they become sort of friends actually. Well, Ched has no clue what the material plane is or anything. Um, and yeah, so that's kind of how Ovak and Ched become united in the forest. But Ched is trying to find his way back, wants to find his way back because he's still in love with the nymph. Forgot her name, but and Ovak is just trying to live a life, and she of yeah, just trying to live a life free of slavery. So yeah, that's kind of the two backstories and everything I got so far. So
Wow. That's
oh,
awesome.
and Ched is a bard. Ched is a bard. He is a satyr bard. So
That's legit.
but yeah, yeah. And so his fiance, she's gonna be playing with us, and then our boss is probably gonna be the DM. So we're pretty excited to start this.
Yeah, that sounds
Um,
awesome.
it was kind of the same situation with us and your campaign. Remember how no one would really do anything until it was like our boss like when I joined in, our boss was like, "Yeah, we've been talking about doing it and stuff. It'd be fun." And I could tell that Zian, my coworker, really wanted to do it. I'm like one day with me and him were working. I'm like, "Hey, just so you know, Chris is the kind of guy that he won't do it until someone initiates it." And he's like, "You're right, he is." So I'm like, "Yeah, so like let's make a date." So we decided on February 20th is going to be like session 0 when we talk about everything, and then we won't be doing it weekly for sure. We'll probably do it like once or twice a month or something like that. So
Mm,
just because we're all in school and working, so we're all busy.
yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
Sundays are our only days off, anyways. For me and Zian, that is, since we work every day and have school every day. So it's just like we we don't want to commit to every week. So,
Yeah. No, I get that. That makes sense.
but so yeah, I'm excited to start this campaign actually because after playing with your campaign, I feel like I understand. I feel like D&D. It's like, oh, I understand it a lot better too. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I might be playing next week. If I mean, we'll see what happens because basically what happened in our at the end of the game was like um Eric was saying that he would be totally fine starting a new campaign. Shai was kind of giving me the feeling that she was more of wanting to hold off a little bit or like at least wrap up. She didn't want this to be the last session. And
Mhm.
John was like, "Yes, I'm ready to do a new campaign, but I kind of want to do this campaign." And both Shy and Eric were like, "Well, we don't really want to do that." And then Eric said, "I would like to do a level 0 campaign where it's like you don't pick your characters. You just start as a regular person and then you kind of get put in the situation and your character becomes something due to the situation." So,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and that's when John was like, "I've not even set something up for that." So, so anyway, it was kind of a big circular mess because you know it's like, well, John was like, "Well, I'm not sure if I'll be ready next week for his level 0," and he really had this really cool idea he wanted to run, and he's like, "This
Mhm.
is epic and would be I think you guys would totally love this," but it sounds like Eric wasn't on board with it and it sounded like Shy was still apprehensive. I don't know if Shy's like, I want to continue with this campaign, like, or if she was like, um, yeah, I wasn't sure.
Right.
Um, I am totally fine. Like, I think this, if they want to move to something else, I just want to keep playing every week. Like, I don't care if
Right.
I'm playing the DM or someone else wants the DM. Like, obviously, the world I have built has a lot that's happening, and there's a lot that can be done. But, um, yeah.
You know, you can roll like 50 dice. Oh my gosh.
Are you using Google?
I am.
Yeah, I've done that for mobs. At one point, I had like 100 D20s. Oh, it didn't do it.
Well, on D&D, the site itself, you can just like,
Well, Google, if you just type it into Google, you see, this is what I would use
oh really?
for mobs, yeah. So you can just select the dice, but apparently there's a limit.
Ayo. Wow.
Oh boy.
I feel like for the online, I roll a lot more nat ones than normal. Anyways, but yeah, so I'm excited about the campaign. Chris, our boss, actually has COVID right now. I texted him the other day. I'm like, hey, so it looks like you're gonna have a lot of time on your hands. You might have a lot of time to like start a campaign idea or something.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so he left it.
Well, normally for my streams, all I do is a stand up, like a warm up exercise with from like this website called
Mhm.
codewars.com. Um, you if you want, to hang around and ask questions, you're more than welcome to. No one
Yeah,
watches this
definitely.
stream, so don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
But I got your
Can you
voice
hear?
working a long time ago, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, so could everyone? Oh, nice.
Yep, yep. So, so this is the prompt, right? This is the problem. Wolves have been reintroduced to Great Britain. You are a sheep farmer and are now plagued by wolves, which pretend to be sheep. Fortunately, you are good at spotting them. Warn the sheep in front of the wolf that is about to be eaten. Remember that you are standing at the front of the queue, which is at the end of an array. So an array is just these square brackets.
Okay.
This is what an array looks like. Um, and then an
So
array,
down below you have test assert equals warn the sheep, array of sheep, 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 wolf, sheep, sheep.
yep. And so we have arrays. There's certain things, right? So a comma separates one piece of it's like a storage device, right? Um,
Okay.
so we have a storage. We call this index 0 in the array. So if an array only has one index, like up on line 2, if I just say sheep, this is index 0. And if I add a comma, I'm creating index 1. And it counts up from there, right? So now I have index 0, index 1, index 2, 3, 4. And so for this array here, we have a bunch of indexes, right? So index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, just a brief thing about that. So what's really cool about this is if I say, um, if I store this array in a variable, like this is something that might look familiar to, like x equals this, right?
Yeah.
So now this is a variable. If I call x, it's equal to an array. And if I have index 0 in the array,
Oh,
we
I
can,
just got kicked out. What the heck?
you got kicked?
Uh, Never mind. I'm back. It's just like I was watching I'm watching it and then it just kicked me out.
Oh, gotcha. Weird. So what's cool is now ignore this console.log for now. Actually, this will just be easier. We'll use this for now. So we have x, let x is equal to our array, and we have one thing called sheep, and I'll make this bigger or smaller. There we go. So now what's really cool is that's been saved. So now if I say specifically the syntax is like x at where. If I say x at index, that's what these mean, 0, that's going to equal sheep, right? Because
Right.
index 0 holds that. Um, so you could say x at index 1, right? Which is undefined. There isn't an index 1. There's just an index 0. Any questions on this?
No.
Cool. We'll
How do you
move.
make a sheep? I mean, wolf.
How do I make a wolf? Well, it seems to me that they're just... So this is called a string, this with the quotes around it. It just seems that we have a string for every index, right? So we have an index 0 has a string called sheep, index 1, sheep, 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 wolf. So it's just a string that says wolf. All right. So, but anyway, basically, warn the sheep in front of the wolf that it is about to be eaten. So we have to warn. So in this case here, we have to warn this sheep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Remember that you are standing at the front of the queue. So it's like I'm standing here. I'm standing like where the equal sign is, and I see all these sheep, right? So sheep, 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 wolf. So we're pretending like this is the sheep in front of the wolf. Wow. Wow. Okay. So we're pretending this sheep is in front of the wolf. That's all that's saying. And so if the wolf is the closest animal to you, so if it's at the front, right next to me, then we have to return the string, please go away and stop eating my sheep.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we need to say, oi, sheep number something, you are about to be eaten by a wolf. So there's only going to ever be one wolf, which is nice. We don't have to worry about multiple wolves.
Multiple. Okay.
So, so I'm going to just show you, so we have a couple of tests, and something I can run is console.log, which will show me what Q is, right? Like this is a function, and every time this function runs, this is a variable being passed into it. So Q is probably going to be, if I run test, it's probably going to be the array, right? Yeah. So Q is equal to some sort of array that's being given to us. So like these test cases, right? So,
Mhm.
so test case 1 will look like this. So what I like to do is when I'm working with these, I'm saying, okay, so this is literally what Q equals. How do I solve the problem using this? So we can cut that out, paste it right up here for now, just so that we can see it easily. And this is like super common practice with how to traverse an array, right? So
Right.
so like my first thought is like, let me ask you, what do you think? Like, I'm just curious on your thoughts. How,
What do you mean?
like,
What are my thoughts? Like,
yeah, how do you think about solving this, like off the bat?
uh, would you just delete the wolf?
I could delete the wolf.
Pull out a shotgun?
But specifically, we just want to basically talk to either our sheep or the wolf exactly. So if I delete the wolf, then it kind of doesn't solve any of our test cases that we want, right?
Okay.
Specifically, we want to either tell the wolf to go away and stop eating our sheep if it's in front of us. Otherwise, if a sheep is in front of the wolf, we need to tell that sheep, hey, you're about to be eaten. And that's,
Oh, so the sheep in front of the wolf, we need to let know that there's a wolf behind it.
mhm.
So then we'd say, "Hey, sheep number 1, 2, 3, 4."
So index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect.
Oh, I thought the index you count right to left, but you count left to right.
Yeah, so 0 is the very, yeah, this is index 0 is on the left. And then it counts up from 0. But you got it right.
Oh, nice.
There's 5 sheep here, right?
Yeah,
So there's,
I counted from the left. I mean, the right over. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
gotcha. Yeah, so it's specifically, right? So if we're trying to warn this sheep, if you understand this concept over here, what index is this sheep?
4.
So how would you write that?
Uh, I don't know.
So you reference just like this. So you're going to reference the variable. And so this is Q is equal to this array, right? This Q here. So it's just Q at index 4 is equal to this sheep.
Okay.
Um, Now, the interesting thing is we want to return, what did we want to return? Sheep. We want it here. Let me write out these strings here. Actually, let me just copy these strings because I don't want to type it. So we need to give them the actual sheep number. And this is an important distinction here. So this is sheep number 1, right? Sheep number 2, sheep number 3, sheep number 4, sheep number 5, right?
Yeah.
So, but the indexes are obviously different. But so what do you think? Just put the number 5 here.
Sure.
So, oi, sheep number 5, you're about to be eaten by a wolf. And that will work. Should work. What else we got here? Oh, wait, I think you were right. Why why did I misunderstand that? Oh, you're right. Colin, you were looking at this. This is
Yes.
I'm confused as how that works. But okay, cool. No, you were right. So sheep number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was counting the indexes, right? This is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's sheep at index 6, which is sheep number 2. But yeah, so this would give us a past, right?
There we go. Okay.
But I did comment all the other tests out because this is hard coded. Anytime we run this function, it will always return this answer, right?
Right.
So it's gonna pass on this test, but then it will fail these other ones, right? Because it's expecting the answer,
You be able to change the answer. Yeah.
right? Hmm. And then the other or, I'll just put or here. Please go away and stop eating my sheep. So I'm gonna do an if, like, so if index, or um, if q at index 0 is equal to wolf, then I want it to return this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna take care of that first one. Well, if,
Um, are you working right now?
I mean, on this,
Oh, but you're not clocked in or anything?
of course not. No, I'd never be paid to do this.
Oh.
I mean, maybe one day I'll be paid to work on stuff like this, but yeah.
Um, don't you work today at all? I'm confused. Why do you have the day off?
Yeah, so I have a meeting at 3:45 with someone, but other than that, and I have a meeting later tonight too.
Okay.
But I actually do this every day. Every single day. Usually takes about 30 minutes or so to knock out these tests. So if we move this if statement up here, so it's going to first hit this if q at index 0 is equal to wolf, then we're going to return please go away and stop eating my sheep. So we're going to fail a couple of them still, but we'll pass this test. And so what we need now is something else to happen. So we want to check, this is my thought. If we can check every single index for the string wolf, so starting at index 0, check, do you say wolf? Index 1, index 2, index 3, and so forth. And then if we do find wolf, then we want to add the 2 to it, right? Because if, so wolf currently is at index, in this example, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So wolf is at index 5. Sheep is at index 6. But the actual number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So actual number is 7. So if we do this, if we say, whenever we find where the wolf string is, we just add 2 to the index number. So index number plus 2. And we save that. And we can just call that here instead of you can say, or sheep number value, you're about to be eaten by a wolf. But we need something that's going to loop through it.
I actually started playing Rocket League, so
I know. Don't worry. I could tell you checked out a bit ago. Let's see. I'm gonna look up the .find method. Method returns the value of the first element in the provided array satisfies the provided testing function. Otherwise, it brings undefined. Find index. There we go. Let's test find index because it seems like that would have it. Console.log q dot find index invoked looking for wolf. These will probably break it. That's interesting. Why? Hmm. And that is it. Oh, gosh dang it. I did it again. I flipped it because it's not gosh dang it. It would
You
be
flipped it?
yeah.
Oh, you start counting from the other side again?
Uh, but that's an easy fix because there's this property called um, dot length that we could get the whole length of the array, and if we just subtract the index by the length, we should have the number.
We're being absolutely spanked right now.
All right, hold up a second. Does that make sense? If I am sheep number 1. Okay, wait. So let's give this example. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 indexes. Okay, 7 indexes. The length is going to be 8. So q.length is equal to 8. Sheep number 2, so index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So index is equal to 5. So 8 minus 5 is not going to give us 2. It's going to give us 3. What if we do just minus 1? Let's try this. Let wolf equal this. Let This is going to be the wolf index number. This is going to be q length. And then let's just console log this and just make sure that we're not crazy. Two. All right, so let value equal this and test. This is strange. Oh, I did it again. Gosh dang it. Q.length. -1. You know what I mean? It's just annoying. All right. There we go. We have warned all the sheep.
Yay.
This is a pretty clunky answer, so I'm gonna refactor this. Get rid of our console log here.
Sorry.
Wolf. Grab that. Boom. All right, that looks better. Save that. Read me. What are you listening to?
Just this dumb video.
Okay, fair enough. So yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
we did I was doing one of these things, and it was about elevators, and I had a really fun idea about a video game I wanted to create for a web browser. Um, I think that's everything. Look at that. That is beautiful. I probably could have done a bit more time on this. Anyway, I think it would be really fun. It's just basically an elevator that you're like playing against the computer. The computer is gonna be programmed to do like help get people on and off the elevator in a certain way. Um,
Uh-huh.
and then you have to like beat the computer. I just think it would be fun to build. All right, there's that. And then what else? So we have that. We need to push our code up. What is it? 28. Oh, I forgot I added that. All right, grab that from GitHub real fast. And done. All right. You want to see something I was working on with the Udemy course I was taking?
Sure.
Which one? Let's do. It's not that one. Is it the one I'm currently working on? Oh, that's the cooking one. This one's cool. Do 11 first. The matching game is also kind of fun. Yeah, it's this one, number 9. So this is the one I'm currently working on. Oh, I don't have the JSON server working. That's okay. We'll just go to number 9. You see this? Maybe. Maybe not. No. Are you in the middle of a game?
Yeah, I'm playing Apex now. I was not doing good. Not doing good in Rocket League.
You were playing Apex and Rocket League?
Oh, I was playing Rocket League, but then I was just being crappy. Actually, I think I'm gonna turn off your screen.
All right. Well, I will do
Just
you
because it's slowing me down, I think.
did you see this?
See what?
Never mind. I was just showing you something that I built out. I'm telling you, Colin, Udemy courses, they're the way to learn. They're really great. There are some great teachers on Udemy. So if you want to get into it, I think that's a great option. I'm gonna go ahead and stop.